Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to everyone. In the previous video, we have discussed about introduction to vectors and vectors in two dimension. Now, this week, in this particular video, we would like to focus on vectors in three dimension. Previously, the discussion is on how to represent two-dimensional vectors on the xy plane. Now, we would like to extend the same idea to represent three-dimensional vectors using the xyz axis. When we mention three-dimensional coordinate system, we will add another coordinate which is z coordinate. So imagine you have this kind of setup where you have a vector OP, and again this vector OP we call it as position vector P prior to point P. Now, in order to determine position vector P, you will determine where is your terminal and initial points. In this case, obviously, since we are talking about position vector, our initial point will always be the origin. Meanwhile, in this case, our point P consists of A, B, C coordinates. Therefore, in order to form the position vector, we will find the difference according to each coordinate, and then that will be the vector of position vector OP. This position vector OP can be represented in so many ways. One of them is AI plus BJ plus CK, or you can put it in matrix form as shown on the white screen, or you can simply use the pointy bracket to indicate vectors. I believe I have discussed about how IJ comes into picture in 2D, but when we discuss about vectors in 3D, we will add another notation that represent unit vectors in positive z directions, which is vector unit vector k. Other than form a vector in 3D, we can always use this formula to determine magnitude of position vector P or position vector OP. We will use the same formula, but this time around we will make sure we involve the information regarding z coordinate, because it is vector that is formed in 3 dimension. So now let's take a look at this example where we ask you to determine or find the magnitude of vector in 3D, which is given by 3i minus 4j plus 4k. We have discussed about formula to determine magnitude of vector in 3D, which is you have to use the formula set a squared plus b squared plus c squared. So in order to solve this problem, this question is very straightforward, where you have to identify first which is your A, which is your B, and which is your C. So in this case, A, B, C represent component of vectors in 3D. In this case, ith component is given by A is equal to 3, jth component is given by B is equal to -4. Meanwhile, kth component of this vector is given by C is equal to 4. So by using that formula, set A squared plus B squared plus C squared, so you will obtain this kind of answer, which is 3 squared plus -4 squared plus 4 squared. So you will end up with set 41 as the answer. Easy, right?